Hey everyone, welcome back to LMX. Today we're diving deep into one of the most debated topics in South Africa, land expropriation without compensation. We'll explore its historical roots, what it means for our society, and compare international examples where similar policies have either succeeded or failed. If you enjoy this content and want more insightful analysis, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. To understand the current debate, we need to rewind a bit. South Africa's land issue dates back to the colonial era. When European settlers arrived, indigenous communities were gradually pushed off their ancestral lands. Fast forward to 1913 with the Natives Land Act. This law confined the black majority to only 13% of the country's land, setting the stage for decades of inequality. During apartheid, forced removals and segregation policies deepened this injustice, as millions of black South Africans were uprooted to make way for white settlements and commercial interests. In the post-apartheid era, despite efforts like the willing buyer, willing seller policy, progress in redistributing land has been slow, fueling calls for more radical measures. So, what exactly is land expropriation without compensation? Essentially, it means that the government can take ownership of land from current holders without paying them. The rationale is to accelerate the process of land reform and address historical injustices quickly, especially when a large part of the population still faces economic and social marginalization due to unequal land distribution. Let's break down some of the key advantages that proponents argue for this policy. First, redressing historical injustices. Land expropriation without compensation is seen as a direct way to right the wrongs of colonialism and apartheid by returning land to those who were dispossessed. Second, economic empowerment. With land in the hands of historically marginalized communities, there's potential for increased local economic activity, improved livelihoods, and the reduction of poverty. Third, social cohesion. By addressing deep-rooted land inequalities, the policy could ease social tensions and foster a more inclusive society. Advocates believe that, when implemented carefully, this approach can catalyze broader social and economic transformation. However, there are also significant risks and drawbacks. First, economic uncertainty. Sudden changes in land ownership without compensation can scare off both domestic and international investors, potentially leading to economic instability. Second, agricultural disruption. South Africa's agricultural sector might suffer if the new landowners aren't given the support and resources needed to maintain productivity. This could impact food security. Third, legal and constitutional hurdles. The policy raises serious questions about property rights, which are protected under the Constitution. This can lead to protracted legal battles and uncertainty in the rule of law. Critics warn that without proper planning and support systems, the policy could do more harm than good. Now, let's take a global perspective. How have similar policies worked out in other countries? Unsuccessful example, Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, a rapid and often chaotic implementation of land expropriation without compensation began around 2000. The goal was to rectify colonial-era inequities, but the process was marred by violence, mismanagement, and a loss of investor confidence. The result? A dramatic decline in agricultural production and severe economic instability that many still feel today. More successful examples, Japan and South Korea. In contrast, consider the land reforms in Japan and South Korea after World War II. While not a perfect parallel, and not always strictly without compensation, these reforms involved the government breaking up large landholdings and redistributing land to small farmers. These well-planned reforms, combined with support for new landowners and broader economic policies, helped stimulate rural economies and contributed significantly to national development. Although these cases are not a direct blueprint for South Africa's situation, they highlight that the success of land reform largely depends on careful implementation, economic support measures, and legal frameworks that balance redressing past injustices with maintaining market confidence. In summary, land expropriation without compensation in South Africa is a deeply complex issue. On one hand, it holds the promise of rectifying decades of historical injustice and sparking economic empowerment. On the other, if executed without careful planning and adequate support, it risks economic disruption and legal chaos, as we've seen in examples like Zimbabwe. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. The outcome depends on how the government implements the policy, supports new landowners, and integrates broader economic reforms. It's crucial that we learn from both successes and failures around the world to shape a future that is just, stable, and prosperous for everyone. If you found this analysis helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, subscribe to LMX for more deep dives into the issues shaping our world. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.